Alright, since you are a bit more familiar what is SEO and how it works, now we can install an SEO plugin. So let's go to our dashboard, let's go to plugins, let's click add new, and let's use search type SEO. And as you can see, there's plenty of SEO plugins, but to be honest, they usually do one thing, and that thing is they add meta description and meta title, and it's good enough. They also offer some suggestions. They also give you some tips when you are optimizing your products, let's say categories or anything like that. And in later lesson, of course, we're gonna dive deeper into keyword research, but for now, everything should be good. So let's select this plugin, Rank Math SEO. This is the plugin I like to use, and I use it on all of my websites. Let's click activate. Alright, so in my case, I just activated this plugin and nothing happened, but in your case, maybe it showed you a setup wizard, and no worries about it. You can close that setup wizard. It just walks you through the all settings and so on, but in this lesson, I'm gonna show you what those SEO plugins are meant for. Alright, so if I would go right here, this is my Rank Math SEO. If I would go to the dashboard, as you can see, we have various tools, and some of those tools are only active for premium version of this plugin, but trust me, you don't really need to get premium version. Premium version just adds you more analytics details and so on, but even with the free version, you will be totally fine. Alright, so if I would go to setup wizard, you're probably gonna have the same setup wizard as you had when you were installing your plugin. So like I said, you can close it, but if you didn't close it, you can still follow through this setup wizard. And if you close that wizard, just go to those steps I showed you, select setup wizard. And now, as you can see, we have options to choose. We can choose advanced. Let's click start wizard. And since previously I installed some plugins, it's giving me an option to import data, but I haven't added any data to those plugins, so I can click right here, skip, don't import now. You can do that as well. And here, just choose some details about your website. So your type of website is going to be a small business site, business type, organization, educational, e-commerce, and so on. So just choose all those right here. You can also add your logo. You can add social share image, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Google gonna show those things in Google search results, because those plugins, they just add this information, and it's for Google to decide if they want to show this information or not. So Google sometimes can be quite picky. All right, let's click save and continue. You can create and connect your Rank Math account. It's quite useful if you have a premium version. It allows you to do some more advanced things, but if you don't have an account, you can click right here, skip step. If you want, you can create an account, and if you're gonna create an account and you're gonna add this account to your website, it's not gonna change anything in the flow of this lesson. So we can click skip step. Alright, so here we have sitemaps. So those sitemaps will be used for Google. We're gonna add our sitemap to Google Search Console, but we're gonna do this in later lesson. And as it is right now, we can keep it just like that, and we can click save and continue. Alright, we can click save and continue, and we can click return to dashboard. So we are done with installing our SEO plugin. It's ready. As you can see, it has a lot of different tools. You can explore everything yourself. In later lessons, we're gonna dive a bit deeper in those options right here. We're gonna use some of those options, but of course not all of them. This is just what this SEO plugin has to offer. And you have to keep in mind that there's plenty of SEO plugins, and they compete with each other, and they try to offer as much options as they can, and it doesn't necessarily mean that those options are very useful. That's just how it works. Alright, so now we have our plugin ready. It's in place. We don't need to add anything else. And now we should go to our pages. Let's start with our pages. As you can see, now it has these columns: SEO details, title, description, and so on. So usually when you're working with e-commerce store, maybe some of the most important pages that you want to show to Google and you want to take care of is about page and your home page. All other pages are not necessary to take care of because they are just pages for customers, and you're not gonna rank those pages in Google search. But if I'm gonna click right here on about page and I'm gonna select edit, not edit with UX Builder, but just edit, as you can see here, we have some more options. So if I'm gonna click right here, this is where I can access the options of our SEO plugin. So right here it's showing us our meta title and meta description. So here we can click edit snippet and you can add the title. So this is how it works. Just add the title. If you want to add a bit longer title, if you want to add a description, you can do this as well. And like I said, if you want to take care of everything precisely, the pages where you could focus are about page and a home page. All other pages are not necessary to focus on because most likely they are not going to rank in Google. But what's important to you if you are running an e-commerce store, for you the most important thing is products. So instead of doing changes right here, let's go back to all pages, and now we can go to products and let's select all products. Let's scroll down and let's say we want to work on our wooden train set toy. So let's click edit. Alright, so now we are editing our product, and as you can see right here, we have our SEO plugin in place. It's showing us our optimization score. It is 8 out of 100, but no worries about it. It doesn't really mean that much. It's just giving you some suggestions, some tips on how they see things, and here you will have to enter your focus keyword, but about that we're gonna talk in the later lesson where I'm gonna show you how to do keyword research, but you are kind of familiar what is a keyword, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit in this lesson as well. Alright, so let's scroll down until we see our SEO plugin. This is the section for our SEO plugin, and as you can see right here we have our meta title and meta description. So when you're writing a meta title and meta description, you want to include your main keyword in both of them. So let's say in this case, my main keyword is wooden train. So I want to include this keyword in the title, and that's already in the title. And I want to include this keyword in meta description as well. If I don't have this keyword in the first sentence of my description, of my product description, I'm gonna go back right here. As you can see, my product description in the first sentence, it has the keyword wooden train. So I don't really need to change anything in the meta description because it's already in my first sentence of my description. And when you are writing descriptions, just keep in mind that the best case scenario is for you to include your main keyword in the description in the first sentence of your description, because no matter what, if I'm gonna include this keyword in my meta description right here using this settings right here, if I'm gonna add a different looking description from my main description of the product itself, and let's say my product description that I showed you previously, it doesn't have the main keyword, but my meta description right here, it would have. You see, it doesn't really work this way because Google is picky, and it doesn't matter if you're gonna add meta description right here and you're gonna include your main keyword. There's a huge chance that Google will decide not to use that meta description that you just entered right here with your keyword, and it's just gonna pick your description instead of taking this description that you're gonna write. So instead of that, Google will take this main description and it's just gonna display in meta description in Google search results. I don't know if that's making much sense, but your goal is when you're writing descriptions for your products, you have to include your main keyword in the first sentence of your product description. So that's your goal, and it just makes everything easier because you won't need to write a separate description for meta right here, and it doesn't even mean that Google will pick on this description that you're gonna type. So since this product has a well-written description, I don't really need to change anything. Maybe if you want, you can change the meta title, but right here I can type my focus keyword. So my focus keyword is wooden train. I'm gonna click enter, and this is what we get. So instead of getting just a couple of points out of 100, now we got 68 of 100. So as you can see, the only downside is that our content is too short. And when you're writing product descriptions, I always recommend to write 200 words and just include your main keyword 2 or 3 times. Not just 1, but 2 or 3 times, up to 3 times, not more. And if you're gonna include your main keyword too many times, it's not gonna help. It's just actually gonna harm your rankings. So this is what SEO plugins do. They give you an option to select a different type of meta title, of meta description, and you can enter your focus keyword. It just gives you suggestions how you could optimize your description better. As you can see, if I'm gonna scroll down, it's actually saying that you should use 600 words, but it's not true because we don't have premium version, and with the free version it's not recognizing that we are writing description for a product, not for a blog post. So for a product it's 200 words and it just works fine. So that's what SEO plugins are for. Just make sure that you install this plugin, and when you're writing descriptions for products, make sure that you include your main keyword in the first sentence. And later we're gonna use this plugin a bit more to submit our sitemap to Google Search Console, and you will see how that works. But for now, this is how it looks, and just make sure that you install your SEO plugin. So that's all for this lesson.